Coming up on today's edition of Titans Today, we'll be breaking down some JC Latham hype from multiple coaches on the Titans roster, why they are so impressed with him. Before we get to that, we are in a like battle this month against those losers over at Texans Today. F-Chugs in the comment section. We are down by, let's just round and say 300. We can absolutely get 300 likes alone on today's video. There is still time for us to catch up to them, so like today's video so we can beat the Texans. Titans minicamp OTAs are over. There's a month and some change until training camp gets going here. And first-round pick, the left tackle, JC Latham is already drawing praise from coaches, some players, and ESPN as well for the way he's adapted to the left tackle position change he's undertaking. Here's what ESPN's Turron Davenport wrote, part of a kind of a rookie report for all 32 NFL teams. He, of course, did the Tennessee one, saying Latham quickly assumed the starting left tackle role and took all first-team reps during OTAs and minicamp. When he isn't out there, Latham can be seen cheering on his teammates and even giving pointers to some of the other rookies. The coaching staff has been most impressed with his work ethic, as shown by his willingness to spend extra time after practice. Whether it's ESPN, the front office, the head coach, the assistant coaches, the teammates, the work ethic has been a constant refrain for JC Latham. Look, it is June. There's not real contact, there's some, but not real contact going on. It's really hard to actually get a good evaluation of how good a trench player is going to be at OTAs, the minicamp. We don't know that until a midway point of training camp and really the preseason and once the games actually gets going. But what you're looking for overall when it comes to this kind of off-season workout stage, consistent refrains, steady drum beats of, hey, every time there's an open practice, you hear that again. You hear that again. We have constantly heard that around JC Latham. And as far as the steps he can take to become the player the Titans think he will be, that is absolutely the first step to doing so. And I love what Bill Callahana, the Titans offensive line coach, the best offensive line coach in the game, had to say about Latham, saying, quote, he's built differently from the mental aspect from most first-rounders I've been around. He'll always do the extra. He's out here every day doing things to improve his craft. It's enjoyable as a coach. You yearn for players like that. He's obsessive about getting everything correct. I think that is the best possible thing you could hear about your first-round pick. And it means more coming from Bill Callahana. There is no coach I trust more out there to maximize any position player than Bill Callahana with an offensive lineman. You know he's going to teach you how to do it properly. We know Latham has an impressive physical skill set. So if he wants to work well, it's not always 1 + 1 + 1 = 3, but that's the path we're trending on for JC Latham. So are you buying all this Latham hype before we get to training camp? Y for yes, N for no. It is the pinned comment on today's video, so if the ad comes here on YouTube, take advantage of it. Head down there and go vote. We'll get to my answer later on in today's show, at the end of it all, because I do want to give the full picture here. But it is very clear the work ethic has long been an intentional mindset taken by Latham as it relates to his NFL career. Here's what he said. Back in high school, I watched a video on Kobe Bryant. He felt if he worked out twice a day in a year's span, he can get 2 years' worth of work in a 1-year span. And I just took that to heart. If I can get my own work on outside of practice, I'll get better twice as fast. That's something I've always adopted. As an individual, you love to prove yourself. Some people would expect guys in my spot to be entitled, and I want to work against that narrative in every way. I want to show every day I'm here to serve my guys no matter what, no matter where I am or who I am. I'm in. I'm sold. If you want the JC Latham rookie jersey, go to chatsports.com/Latham. The link will be in the comment section and the description of today's show, plus a clickable link over there in that corner. It's chatsports.com/Latham. It is the official rookie jersey of the rapidly getting hyped Titans first-round pick out of Alabama. Look, I will say this part. There will be bumps in the road along the way. Latham will not be perfect. That's not only expected, it is accepted. You know going in when you are playing a first-round pick at left tackle, no matter how good he is, there's going to be blown assignments. There's going to be missed blocks. He's going to overset. He's going to lunge too much. He's going to get beat to the inside, beat to the outside. It happens. It is okay. Do not misinterpret the positive praise for Latham for he's prime Orlando pace. He's better than Taylor Lewan ever was. That's not the expectation nor a realistic goal in year one. But it is to be a good starter by the time you get to week 17. And it is a position change for Latham. That part cannot be overlooked either. He was a right tackle at Alabama, played some on the left side, but left tackle is a little bit different beast, especially in the NFL. Here's what head coach Bill Callahana said about Latham and the position change in general. Everything I've seen so far has been really pretty dang good for a guy making that transition for the first time, playing left side in a while. A lot more will be revealed as we get going, but everything would indicate so far that he's up to the task. There's not anything that would have been alarming at this point that he couldn't make the transition. Latham in Alabama last year, 2 sacks allowed, 3 hits, 9 hurries, did not get beat very much in pass protection. Now, on the other side, Caden Proctor for Bama, who I think could still end up being a first-round pick, had a really rough start to the season. And as producer Chris knows, as our Alabama Report host here, he got beat a lot, and Jalen Milroe also tends to hold the ball forever and have a higher pressure to sack ratio than ideal, but the run blocking was still really good. The physical power was always, I think, the biggest selling point for JC Latham, and from what Bill Callahana did with Cincinnati, they loved big offensive linemen. JC Latham is a big friggin' boy up front. That is a very large human being in terms of what he's able to bring to the football field. We're talking about the combine measurements, 6'5" and 3/4, 342 pounds. He actually trimmed some weight. He was a little bit heavier in Alabama. 11-inch hands. That's unbelievable. 35 and an 1/8 arms. The fat goalie theory kind of applies to offensive linemen. If you're so big, the defenders can't always find a way to get around you. But it is a position change for Latham. I do think playing alongside Peter Skoronski will help. I loved him coming out of Northwestern. That could be a very dynamic 1-2 punch in the long term. So what is your confidence level in JC Latham as the Titans left tackle of the future? Scale it for me from 1 to 10 in the comments section. More praise here from Titans offensive coordinator Nick Oles. JC has maybe the best energy of any person on this team. His energy is infectious. He's done a really nice job with his footwork. He's improved in his playing under control. He's so big and so strong. Look, the last part, that's fine. I think the energy angle is kind of an underrated aspect here. When you have a new regime and you're putting in a new culture and you're changing things from one coach to the next, you want your first-round pick to be a part of that long term, the next 5-10 years. He's a huge part of the overall mindset and attitude and culture of your organization. And him being an infectious personality for an offensive tackle, I think that's a really, really good thing. Now, we will have more Titans videos for you all off-season long, so do not miss out. Hit that sub button at youtube.com/Titans today. I do want to look back at how I had JC Latham graded and why he ended up going higher than where I had him. I had him at 25th overall. He was my number 5 ranked offensive tackle. I had a first, second round grade on him. In a normal tackle class, he's probably 3rd, if not higher. I was a big Olu Fashanu fan myself. Joe Alt was awesome. I fell in love with Fuaga. I was high on Amarius Mims' hype long term. However, pre-draft grades can't account for 2 main things. Number 1, who takes you? Fit and the team and development, all that stuff matters a ton. You go to a bad spot, a bad coaching staff, a bad organization, a poorly run team. I don't care who go back to make fun of the Texans here. I don't care who they took the year they drafted David Carr. That quarterback was probably never going to work out because the supporting cast and structure and organization was so bad. Years of the Commanders being a dysfunctional organization wasn't going to be a good thing. And there's no one I trust in the NFL to maximize a player than Bill Callahana. If you had told me, hey, this offensive tackle gets to go to Tennessee and work under Bill Callahana, it would have been, I think, at least a 10-spot jump in my overall ranks. But yeah, that guy's probably going to end up pretty good. because those things matter. We also don't get to really have meetings with the players. I meet with them at the combine for 10 minutes, if that, with a bunch of different questions getting thrown at them there when we're there for it. That's it. And I'm willing to bet JC Latham blew away every single interview that he had. With the way the coaches have praised him, I bet the interview process was a huge stock up for him. So yeah, I am drinking the Kool-Aid higher than what I had him rated before the Titans actually snagged him.